when a soluble solid interacts with a solvent, for example, when table salt dissolves in water, what happens is that the solvent molecules interact with the particles of solid and completely break them apart from each other. The attractions between the solvent and the solute pulls the solid apart and makes, and again, dissolves the solid. Okay, now when we have a polymer, things get a little bit different. Okay, here's a polymer represented by these chains of Lux Blox here, and suppose we have a polymer that will interact with solvent molecules, but the chains are so tangled together that they cannot pull apart like they would for table salt or for sugar. What happens is when the solvent interacts with the polymer, what can happen is the polymer will be attracted to the solvent, okay, and it'll actually pull the solvent into the structure. It will not completely break apart the polymer. It's just the chains will kind of swell apart, or the polymer will swell. It's called solvent swelling, where the solvent goes into the polymer swells, the chains get kind of pulled away from each other, but they do not break apart completely. Okay, now that's solvent swelling. Now there's an interesting phenomenon we can bring into play here called solvent welding. Suppose we have two solvent-swollen polymer pieces, polymer samples. Okay, so we take the solvent or the polymer, we add solvent to it, and it swells the polymer up. Okay, again, the chains are kind of swollen apart from each other, moved apart from each other a little bit, but the polymer doesn't actually dissolve into solution. But we can take these solvent-swollen polymers and we can bring them into contact with each other, and the chains will have the opportunity to sort of intertangle. Now, if we remove the solvent, for example, if we let the sample dry out, the solvent will be removed. Okay, and what happens is that these polymer chains can intertangle with each other as the solvent leaves the polymer, and the polymer structure, it's kind of tangled together. So you have two pieces that you bring together, and with the help of solvent, they can become one piece, and this is called solvent welding.